What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Oh man, what the hell?
I almost wish we would record the pre-show conversations we have. How's it going? What's happening? Welcome to another edition of the What the Hell podcast. I'm Sean.
And I'm pissed off.
I don't know how you follow that.
Oh, I gotta hit the audio thing. Hold on. I can't read lips. Hold on. Oh, wait, yeah. All right.
No. If we recorded the pre-show, it would make more sense. But I'm TJ.
Oh, I still gotta hit the audio thing. Sorry. Hold on. I was still. I don't know.
We're having issues.
Damn Max. Seriously. Okay.
He's
go
funny.
ahead.
He's funny. I'm not doing the whole intro again. Too late.
That's
No,
fine.
I refuse.
That's
gonna
the
make it a
magnificent
thing.
jackass.
I'm gonna
That's
make it
what
a
that is.
thing now that at every recording, I'm just not gonna say it. I'm gonna find something else to say.
That might be kind of funny.
Just distracted. Oh, sorry, I was playing solitaire.
Yeah.
I listened to another show where, there's two guys going back and forth, and one of them, the way he said, he never tells his co-host how he's going to say hello to the listeners, and it's always something funny, and the guy's usually falling out of his chair laughing. So I support Jason's decision.
All right. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's all good. So I know we did this beforehand, but brief synopsis. Jason, how's your week?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I watched Hocus Pocus on Friday with some friends and drank while I was doing it because I was watching Hocus Pocus with friends.
And
So,
I'm a grown man.
One of those ways to kind of get through a scenario. I'm like, so that way you can kind of catch the thing where somebody goes, "Why were you doing that?" I'm like, "It was food and booze. Why wouldn't I?"
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Please come over. I'll feed you and get you drunk while you watch the movie you don't want to watch.
See?
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean, that's a pretty good way to lure me over anywhere. Like, hey, we got some good barbecue and some beer. If you want to
Yep.
come over, like,
There
yeah,
you go.
okay.
All right.
Mine
That
was always
works.
before Roscoe passed. Mine was always somebody would invite me to something. I'd be like, "Well, kind of." They go, "You can bring Roscoe." I'm like, "All right, I'm in."
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Actually, I'd have
keep an eye on the mutt. Cool.
Oh, actually, I'd have friends who actually would just start with that most of the time because they knew that would be the reason I would come over.
That's
It's
the
like a
qualifier.
but-
Prerequisite. If Jason's coming, he's got to bring Roscoe.
Well,
Yeah,
and that's the thing is like everybody knows, like, all right, if we want Jason to come over, he's got to bring his dog.
Yeah, see,
I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions to the rule,
there was a few. There was a few, not many.
Well,
but
that's what I mean. Like, you're not gonna bring him to like a huge party with a bunch of people.
no.
Exactly.
If it's a huge party, I would just say no because
Exactly.
I'm not a big fan of crowds. Which always
He
made it kind of
likes
interesting
small
living near the
backyard
Las
parties.
Vegas Strip.
Right. He likes small backyard parties with very aggressive games of rock, paper, scissors, tortilla slap.
Well, hey, there you go. It's still a small party, and we're still drinking. So then then you don't kind of notice the rest of the stuff going on, whether
No.
you're smacking people or throwing tortillas at each other.
Works. TJ, how about you?
My week has been pretty much run of the mill, same old bullshit. So nothing real exciting to report.
Yeah, I gotta say the same thing. Run of the mill,
I mean, yeah.
work, blah.
Yeah, most of mine up until Friday, it was pretty much the same thing.
There you go. Well, let's see. Housekeeping. I'm just, I'm gonna say, just go fucking do it. I'm not gonna do the spiel. You know what I'm gonna say? What the hell?
Subscribe.
Do
Great.
it. Do it. Do it.
Do it. Do it.
That's right. That's an underappreciated movie. You know that, right? I think it was good. I mean, it definitely wasn't true to the fucking 70s sitcom or whatever you want to call that show. Starsky and Hutch.
I didn't see the movie.
So the movie was Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson.
I remember. Yeah, I remember
Right.
Yeah, I never actually saw.
I want to
that.
say this was like their first or second together, but
Yeah, but
I mean,
it wasn't like Starsky and Hutch was not a comedy on TV.
well,
the
yeah.
show, no, it was
Yeah,
like
it's a
supposed
cop
to be like
show.
a serious
Yeah.
cop show.
But the fucking movie was funny as hell.
Well, of course, because like if you watch anything from the 70s now, it aged so poorly, and it's not on purpose. Like they made a product of their time, and it made sense at the
Yeah.
time. But if
Yeah.
you
Oh, yeah.
watch it now, it's fucking hilarious.
So there's one point, a pretty famous point in the movie where Stiller and Owen Wilson are going undercover. And Stiller has got this crazy character that's
Surprise.
like a plumbing fixture king. He's got the crazy suit on, the crazy wig, and his whole shtick is, you know, I'm Maury Finkel, founder of Finkel's Fixtures, you know. And so he goes to the bar and he's like, "Hey, sweet cheeks, how you doing? You know, give me," and I forget what he orders, but he's like, "Do it. And then Owen Wilson fucking is dressed up as a cowboy and steals his character. It's like Bacardi and Cola, do it. But the whole thing was do it.
I recall that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Anyways,
it was like a clip or something. Like I should probably say it like I haven't seen the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I think I kind of remember that. But
I
I'm
wanna
also
s-
the guy sitting here right now who's saying I haven't seen Starsky and Hutch the movie, but I have seen Hocus Pocus too.
Yeah, but at least you got fed during that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That
And
is
you
true.
drank. I will say that I loved your comment. Yeah, that was your comment. I loved your comment on Facebook either earlier this week or the week before when Andor came out, right? So watching, that was you, wasn't it? Yeah.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. TJ's
I
not on
wasn't
Facebook anymore.
I was
I
gonna
wasn't
say,
watching
sure as
Andor.
fuck wasn't me.
I haven't seen
I
Andor
could have
yet.
sworn it was you. Who the fuck? All right, well then I'm going to shut up because if you haven't watched it yet. Someone made a pretty
said-
astute fucking observation as part of that. I thought it was funny.
Then we reach the moment of the show where Sean shows his age.
Well, yeah, because he said Andor, and my immediate thought was Trogdor from Homestar Runner.
No, the Cassian Andor
I
fucking
do like that.
series. Anyway, after you watch the first episode, let me know and I'll let you know what the comment was because I don't want
Okay.
to spoiler it for you. I can spoiler it for the Hellions, but not for my brother. Sorry, not gonna do it.
I don't want to
I
spoil
kind of miss Homestar Runner though. That was like when Strong Bad wrote the children's book.
Oh yeah,
Oh God.
I still remember to this day Strong Bad emails, and like they would always change the jingle every week.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But the one that always stuck with me was, once again it comes scrolling back, scroll bar back like that heart attack.
Ah,
I do a terrible Strong Bad impression, but
that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't bad.
well, I never claimed for it to be good.
It's like it's like right there in the middle. Hey, as long as it wasn't bad, then
It's that sticker that's a star that says you tried.
you at least get a participation trophy.
It's that's a sticker of a cat saying "me wow."
There you go.
No.
Me wow. Oh God. Yeah, I don't. That makes me think of like there's always those catchy, stupid little things that stick in your head. The one that for some reason never left my head as I'm 50 years old now is one of the old Schoolhouse Rock. You remember those?
Oh
Am I-
yeah,
am I supposed-
I'm a bill on Capitol Hill.
Oh no.
Oh.
Junction.
Oh, conjunction.
What's your function?
What's your function?
Junction. What's your function?
Phrases and causes. Conjunction.
All I can remember
What's
about
your function?
the,
Hell yeah, I remember those.
all I can remember about the Bill guy was the same one where they started that whole bit. And they did it on Family Guy, and somebody stabbed him to put him in the trash.
I forgot all about that one.
Like I'm a
Well, I
bit
mean,
on Capitol Hill.
yeah, and he sat on Capitol Hill, and he was sad about it because fucking Congress wouldn't pass, which is kind of accurate to the
Right.
government we have.
That is also true.
God.
I digress. We're not getting into that. We are not that type of podcast.
No, not touching that one with a 1,000,000-foot pole.
Mm-mm.
Sorry. Not sorry at all.
No.
Not even a little.
No.
So
Not
let's
while
get
you're all
into
Not while you're all being lazy twats.
that's especially then. Especially not then. But let's get into it because, TJ's got to get up early. And
I don't know, considering what time he said he had to get up, I'm like, all right, that makes sense.
Yeah. I don't blame
I'd
him.
be a little antsy about it too.
Well, that's why I was like, Sean said 7 earlier. I was like, let's do 7 Eastern.
That's fair.
Well, there's 2 of you in Eastern and me in Central, so I would be the minority.
To get up at I don't have to get up at 3 o'clock.
I know, but thank God Jason's in the Eastern, so now I got someone else on my side.
Right. But so last week, as we were going through and talking about stuff, we wound up on a topic which will wind up being interesting, I think, because again, 2 of us are afflicted with this for the rest of our lives.
I was just about to ask what we were talking about today, and then went, "Oh yeah,
yeah, we did that on purpose."
And now we reach the part of the show where I show my age.
What's Dad's favorite saying? I've got a great memory. It's just short.
Yep.
It's like his favorite fucking saying of all time.
Oh yes, that is one.
Matter of fact, he's probably forgotten how many times he's told both of us that sentence.
Oh, I have no doubt.
But yes, it'll be interesting because Jason and I are afflicted with this fucking horrible nightmare mutated part of our brains. And TJ is not. So I'm sure he will have loads of questions and loads of going, yep, doesn't fucking bother me. But
or probably bothers me for different reasons.
So we're doing more of a Q&A this time.
Well, that and stories.
I don't know. That's
fucking so.
Hey, the format's open, okay?
Yeah.
We're not a run of the mill podcast. We don't have to stick to nothing. We're all over the place.
This is highly true. This is very true. Look, there's my fucking refrigerator. All right, so
trophy.
No, that's for work. That's a work thing I got to do this week. Gonna be fun. I bought a little trophy for something I got to do. Anyway, of course, what we're speaking about, if you listened to the last episode, and if you didn't, fucking shame on you.
Lazy twat. I mean,
and if you did listen to the last episode, you know what? Go back and listen harder.
Yeah, because if you don't know what we're talking about, and you did listen to the last episode, you clearly aren't retaining the information.
That's true.
Properly.
Like, you need to listen harder. If you already listened to every episode of this podcast, go back, re-watch all of them, re-listen to all of them.
Do better,
harder. Listen harder.
Yes, you heard him. We wound up talking about motion sickness. And I got to tell you, just right off the bat, as someone that this is afflicted for 50 years, I honestly wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. It's that fucking bad.
Or it can be that fucking bad, yes.
Yeah. It's in two reasons I would say that, and I think Jason will back me up on this. The first reason clearly is just kind of what we said last time. If you wind up with this and you somehow trigger it, you're fucking done for a minimum of 18 hours. You're a useless fucking blob. Everything hurts. You're gonna be you're in so much pain and everything else. And at the end of it, your fucking body's gonna be sore from throwing up and dry heaving. So that's one reason. The second reason is you miss out on cool shit.
Oh God, yeah.
Right? I mean, you know, you heard
Yeah,
TJ with some of the stories he told about rescuing me because I couldn't do some of the shit my kids want to do, and TJ's like, "Fuck yeah, let's go."
Oh yeah.
But I wouldn't wish it on my worst fucking enemy.
No.
No, that's just might be a form of cruel and unusual punishment. Anyway.
Well, and it always gets worse because when you start feeling it come on, it's almost kind of one of those like, motherfucker. So,
Yeah.
well, let me stop
Okay.
what I'm doing now because I'm not going to be useful for a little while.
So as two men that are afflicted by this, does Dramamine not help?
It depends. Like I've had it, strangely enough, I've had it between, let's see, what have I done? There was I've done Dramamine, I've done the patch behind the ear. I did at one point, there was something I found once where it was like an actual like drop kind of thing, but you put it behind your, so it was essentially just not the patch, but still something you kind of do there. And it depends because Dramamine doesn't stop it. It's just supposed to kind of possibly help you through it.
And
or not make it as bad.
Yeah. And in most cases, all Dramamine does is knock you the fuck out. We've been given the finger. Oh, did you lose audio?
It's not nice to point.
Remember when you're pointing, there's 4 other fingers pointing back at you. There you go. We stand by for Man of Many Books' technical difficulties. And he's probably going to log out and log back in. All right. He was having a sound issue before we started recording, before you got on. So,
well, that's dumb.
Well, yeah. And here he comes.
He's back.
He's connecting to audio. He is now connected to audio.
He's back.
Can you hear me now? Push broom.
Don't touch me there. You got to hear something. He started laughing.
Fuck off.
Yeah. See?
All right, he's back.
Stupid. My AirPods died.
Oh, that's why I use the wired headphones.
That's why I don't use them at all.
Nah.
Well,
anyway, you were saying.
Me? I don't even remember what I was saying. I kind of went.
You were talking about as 2 guys that are afflicted with this.
Oh, we were talking about
Dramamine.
Dramamine, yeah. For me, all Dramamine ever did was knock me the fuck out.
So it's not like a viable option. Like, say you were going to like a Six Flags or like a Cedar Point.
Oh, well.
Jason's reference.
So
Dramamine, even in those cases, a lot of times wouldn't. I mean, it doesn't actually stop anything. Sometimes it'll help. Sometimes it'll drag it out where you can maybe go on a couple more coasters than you would normally, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I
know it's very popular to take like before you get on an airplane because some people are weird and puke when the airplane takes off.
I got a good story for that.
Well, I mean, I think Jason hit the nail on the head, at least for me. Like if I took Dramamine, it would just knock me out. I'd go to sleep. I remember doing Dramamine or something one time before taking the kids to Six Flags. I think you were already gone. But it did exactly what Jason said. It's like it held it at bay long enough that I could be a little more.
Oh yeah,
a little bit more active, but not quite.
Yeah. And I think it also, like, I think it depends on the situation. Like, if it's a long car ride, you're going to fucking sleep. Okay, it's that. Going if you're up and moving around, it probably wouldn't be as bad. But if you're sitting in one place and kind of bored, you're out, you're done. If you're on a plane, you're probably going to sleep. But going to like a Six Flags, I think it in my estimation delays the inevitable.
Oh yeah, pretty much.
But like, and again, I've done the only thing I haven't tried. Okay, so I've done all kinds of medicine. Obviously, we've talked about I go on a lot of cruises and I do the patch for the cruises. So like, wait, how can you have motion sickness and go on a fucking cruise ship? number one, people, you're not. This is not a fishing boat on a fucking lake. Okay,
I know.
you're
This
not
is-
fucking doing this.
Motherfucker ain't rocking back and forth.
You know, this fucking thing is designed for comfort. Have I hit rough seas? Yeah, I've hit a little bit, but you're still on a fucking cruise ship. It's going to take a lot to make that fucking 80 gazillion ton motherfucker look like, you're doing this.
Well,
That's not to
hitting
say
rough-
that it won't do the side to side or have some rough seas. It does happen.
Hitting rough seas on a cruise is the equivalent to hitting turbulence on a flight.
Yeah, and to the same effect, because you mentioned taking off in a plane. I actually enjoy the takeoff. I think it's kind of cool to get that G-force push back in your seat, like, we're gonna fucking start hauling ass in this big bitch. But the turbulence part of it,
We're talking about planes, right?
yeah.
Oh, all right. Okay. Continue.
But the turbulence part of it,
We're
yeah.
hauling ass on some big bitch. I'm like, wait a minute, what are we talking about?
Vegas.
Jesus. This is why I left.
Oh, God.
Exactly. You were hauling ass in some big bitch.
See?
I gotta get out of here.
That's fucking funny as hell.
Ah, see that?
But yeah, the turbulence on a plane, especially if you get one. Have you ever had that fucking turbulence on a plane where it feels like you drop like 300 feet instantly?
Honestly, I haven't had that one. I've had it where
that one fucking
that's the word.
sucks.
I've
had one where, I mean, obviously where it shakes a lot, but like nothing that's actually done the.
Like I've had brutal shaking. I can handle that all day. It's like blah blah blah, whatever. No big deal. It's that drop, man. Because as soon as that drop starts, your stomach goes with it. And
oh yeah. Well, that's the equivalent of just like Sean said. Like takeoffs usually aren't that bad. Landings, depending on landing, depending on turbulence during the landing, fucking suck.
Yes.
To the point where one of my good stories for that was when I was on my honeymoon. This was a long time ago. This was before I met Lynn, and that. I was the guy who threw up in the bag.
never done that.
We were on the descent we were flying into, I think it was Cancun, or I don't remember. It was somewhere in Mexico. I don't remember. But we were on the descent. Obviously, I can't get up because number one, I was sitting in the middle seat. Number two, we're on the descent. No seatbelts off to do whatever. And it's like, I mean, this is going no matter what I do here. So it's like, okay, unfold the bag and blah, So I had to be the guy while we were landing, like holding the bag, like
trying to be quiet so he doesn't trigger everybody else in the fucking plane.
Yeah, nobody opened this, and definitely the guy right next to me because I was in the middle seat, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I did. Yeah,
because you hear that noise.
Oh God! Oh yeah!
And you smell just a drop. That's a fucking triggering moment.
That's exactly why the bag went closed. It's like one of those like desperate, like wrap it up. Wish I had duct tape in my pocket so I could like do one of those. And
does anybody have any?
That's the thing right there, though. Like, if the person next to me does that and is doing that, is like actively like, I'm sorry, like I'm trying to contain this.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm like, it happens. Like shit happens.
Yeah.
But it's the person that'll like have the tray table down, just go, and then just leave it open.
Oh yeah.
Or
at least have a story where I did it in the bag and went, do you believe this shit?
I don't remember having any corn.
That's the same guy that comes out of the bathroom and just goes, you guys got to see the size of this.
Yeah, exactly. But oh yeah. And the other one, at least for pointers, for anybody who at least suffers through this, like Sean and I do, if you're going to get on a flight and you have motion sickness, don't take a Dramamine and 2 Excedrin on an empty stomach and then get on a plane.
God, that just, my stomach just did a couple of knots. Ow.
I did not anticipate that. I spent the entire flight sitting in my seat with my head back with my eyes closed, because if I either open my eyes or put my head forward, it was automatic where I was like, okay, nope, back and eyes closed, because not fun.
Oh, dude.
Not fun. That's why most of the time, I mean, after a while, I just stopped taking anything to get on a plane because it was like I
I get that.
Dramamine never really. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Dramamine never stopped it.
My rule, especially when I was with a job where I was traveling extensively, I was on, gone Monday through Friday, and in some cases would go somewhere Monday, Tuesday, fly somewhere else Wednesday, and then fly somewhere home Friday. And my rule was always get settled in my seat, try to go to sleep. It
Oh
was
God.
fucking go to sleep. Like get a window seat, put my head up against it. Okay, I'm buckled in. I'm fucking situated. No one's gonna fucking be around me. I'm going to sleep. And back in the day before severe obstructive sleep apnea, I was usually out before they did the fucking safety briefing.
I can never sleep consistently though. Like
Yeah.
I would get on the plane, get situated, get buckled, because I usually do pick a window seat, just to be able to kind of do the lean over thing. But I would always fall asleep before we took off, and then wake up right before takeoff, and then not be able to consistently sleep through the entire. Like I would nod off and kind of do whatever and nod off or whatever because
Yeah.
I'd always be checking my thing like, fuck, I only fell asleep for 15 minutes. It's a 4 hour flight.
See,
Like
and
even to go visit her, it was the same thing because it was like, yeah, get on the plane, I fall asleep. Because as soon as I'd fall asleep, like before we take off, I'd be like, oh, okay, maybe I'll actually, the thing. And all of a sudden, I kind of wake up and I'm looking out the window. I'm like, fuck, we haven't taken off yet. And then we'd take off and we'd be flying, and I'd situate and try to do the thing and put my head over and do whatever, and I'd fall asleep for a minute, and then I'd wake up and look at whatever, like my phone or whatever, and go, it's a fucking 4 hour flight. It's only been 15 minutes. Try to do the thing again, and it wouldn't. Yeah.
see, and that's my thing. Like, Sean, I know your experience is a little bit different because obviously you were traveling for work.
Yeah.
So usually when I fly, it's recreational. So when I get on a flight, I'm usually like pretty fucking juiced to get where I'm going.
Yeah.
So like the flight takes off and I'm the dude like I'll try to sleep, usually doesn't work. But I'm the dude like checking the thing on the back of the seat every 5 minutes going because like at least on Southwest it'll show you where you are on the map and how
Yeah.
long you have to go. So I'm the dude constantly checking that, staring at it, going, okay, almost there. 2 more hours, 2 more hours.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Yeah.
He's that guy on the plane.
Well, no, and I don't bother anybody, but I'm just like, all right, let's get this fucking shit over with. I want to be where I'm going.
Yeah.
See, that would be the difference. Like you're the guy who's going, okay, we only got 2 hours left. I'm the guy going, fuck, we've got 2 hours left.
Yeah. And imagine back in the day when you couldn't watch a fucking movie on a plane and you're just fucking sitting there.
I still can't even really imagine now, considering. I mean, this is a little off topic, but the idea that obviously you can't smoke on planes anymore, but the idea when you could, I'm like,
yeah.
Did you get there in a cloud, or was that the whole circulating the?
Like
it's a circulating thing.
I still smoke, and I'll never understand being able to smoke in airplanes. That's the worst place.
But that's
You're in a tube. That's
Yeah.
an old Andrew Dice Clay bit. You're in a fucking tube.
Well, like it's just like at some point, like you have to like be able to make the sacrifice. Like if I'm getting on a 4 hour flight, it's like, yeah, I can go 4 hours without having a cigarette for the sake and the benefit of others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So, it's one of those ones to me that fucking sometimes you have no choice, right? You put yourself in a situation. You got to fly somewhere for work. You go to Six Flags, whatever. The worst part is, and Jason talked about some of this last time. The worst part is when you're a kid and something as simple as sitting in the fucking car triggers it.
Oh yeah.
Now I don't think TJ knows this story, but as a kid, long before he came around, Mom and I were going somewhere, and I think my Uncle Rob was with us. Anyway, TJ and I have this love, call it what it is, this love and fondness for White Castles. White Castle is amazing. It's probably the worst thing for you.
Eh.
It will absolutely provide you with ample gaseous emissions to clear out a fucking office building.
And if you have it, plan on tasting it all fucking day.
Yeah. Again, still not enough to make me fucking stop eating them because number one, I can't get them here.
Well, I was gonna say it's a little different for you because like they're not available.
Yeah.
Like I go to White Castle rarely because of that.
Yeah, because you know it's like, oh, I haven't had them in a while. I'm gonna go there, or it's like,
Yeah, it's a treat.
or oh, Sean's up from Texas. Well, we're gonna go to fucking White Castle.
Well,
Absolutely.
you did the one when you came out for the thing, your conference.
Oh
You
yeah,
found that White Castle out there.
yeah. There's White Castles in Vegas.
It
I'm
makes
like,
sense. Yeah.
and it's within walking distance where I was staying. It was in the fucking bottom floor of the quote unquote Best Western casino.
Well, I mean
Yeah.
that's just destiny at that point.
Yeah, and I looked at that, and I'm with my coworkers, and I'm like, I'll be right. Like, you just ate dinner. I'm like, you guys don't fucking understand.
Yeah, and I'm
Shut
about
up.
to shove 5 jalapeno sliders down my face. Watch
One
me.
of them, I'm like, have you even had White Castles? No, huh, here. Just fucking here. He got it. He got it instantly. Anyway, so we were going somewhere. I don't know, fucking where we were going. I don't remember how old I was, but this was a running status in the family from then on. We were going somewhere, and it may have even been my first introduction to White Castles, because I remember like, it's got onions on it, right? And I'm fucking scraping all the fucking onions off. That to this day, Mom was right. You can't even really fucking taste them just because the way they cook them.
Oh yeah.
So I don't pick them off. So I don't pick them off now.
Even if you did them with no onions, you're still gonna taste the onions because it's cooked on that grill.
Exactly.
So you need to deal with it.
Yeah. As a child, you don't fucking care. You just know there's onions on it. I don't like onions. So we're going somewhere, get White Castles, and backseat of a car, motion sickness, and White Castles. That is a recipe for fucking disaster. Let me tell you right now.
Them, or were you just smelling them?
No, I was eating. We were eating them in the car.
Ooh.
No, and see, yeah, I mean, it's that, honestly, like I don't think I've ever actually had a White Castle.
This is before the age of plastic bags, people.
Well, no, but that combination, like as soon as you said it, the idea of the thing, trip, the back seat with the, I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
I mean, you can name practically any food. As soon as you mention the back seat of a car, it's like no,
But it's something else when it's fucking White Castles. Let me tell you. And that may have been the moment we realized how bad the affliction was. I don't know, but it was this for years. It was this running thing. Mom was always really good about when you did something that was embarrassing to you that she thought was humorous or she didn't want to go through. There was a nickname involved for years, and there was no nickname on that one, right? It was just a learning moment. Like, yeah, we're never fucking doing that again. Or the time where I had a tiny ass splinter in my heel, I was called Woodfoot for fucking years.
Yeah.
You know,
I can't remember if I actually told that story, like when either when we were talking about it, or we were recording the when Mom would take my sister and I to church.
You mentioned it.
Did I mention it when we were recording or no?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, all right.
Because TJ asked why you were going to church in your pajamas.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's because of all of that. Mom knew we were going to throw up on our clothes every time. So we'd go to church in our pajamas. She'd change us in the parking lot, and then we'd go to church.
Yeah.
So we
get it over with. Yeah.
Pretty much it.
Similar to Jason's story, I did one. I've done a lot of flying. Nothing. The only real like long flights I've been on was when I was in the Army and leaving the U.S. to go to Germany and then obviously to come back 3 years later. And the rule was when I left in '91 to fly over to Germany for my first duty station after basic and all that, you had to fly in your dress green uniform. right? So
Ooh.
basically a big green fucking suit, tie and all that. And I'm, I don't remember. I think I flew from Detroit to New York or something, and to get on this international flight to go to Frankfurt, which I think is 8 or 9 hours.
Long
Right.
flight.
And also, again, they 90s, I don't know if they had the movie screens or not. There was a way to watch, but it wasn't like, on the seat in front of you like it is now. Obviously, no cell phones.
It was probably like they put the screen down in the middle of the aisle days.
Yeah,
and you
probably.
could buy the headphones.
Yeah,
maybe.
So,
I mean, 91, that sounds about right.
yeah. So, the fucking government had chartered, American Airlines or whatever. So there's a fucking full plane of GIs going to Germany. And I'm like, okay. And I hadn't, at that point in my life, I hadn't been on that many fucking flights either. So of course I'm straight up nervous about throwing up on this flight, because young Army private, yeah, that's going to go over really well.
Naturally.
So, get on the plane and take off. All that was fine. We actually stopped. We had a layover, 30-minute layover, whatever. I want to say it was Iceland, but I'm probably wrong.
Details.
Anyway, all that was good until the approach to Frankfurt, which started to get bumpy.
Oh boy.
Right? And I think it's a very similar story to Jason, where I'm in the middle seat and for those that aren't afflicted with this, let me walk you through the process of what fucking happens, because it's fucking entertaining.
Step one.
So you've put yourself in a scenario where you're going to get afflicted by motion sickness. The first thing that starts happening, the first thing that starts happening, depending on the scenario, for me, like when it's getting bad, like if I do this, right, I don't really fucking feel anything, right? But when you're starting to get triggered, number one, you feel the headache start coming on. But then for me, it feels like I got a head this big and a brain that big, and it's literally fucking zooming in the direction, like, if you're doing turbulence and it goes like this, it feels like my brain's smashing against that side of my head.
So you have ping pong ball brain.
Yes, that's what it feels like. And so then your body's going, oh, okay, we've got a fucking problem.
Well, yeah, because it feels like your brain is fucking bouncing all over the place, even though it's not, but your equilibrium is all kinds of fucked up.
Yeah, it's fucked. And so what your brain does at that point, even though it's being sloshed around, your body goes into straight up defense mode. It's like, activate defenses. Step one, massive sweat. Execute. And sweat starts pouring out of your body like you're standing in the middle of the Arizona fucking desert with no water. See, like, it's fucking disgusting.
Mine's always the cold sweat.
Yeah.
I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV, but
did you say it at Best Western last night?
No, but it feels like
no, isn't that Holiday Inn Express?
Holiday Inn Express.
Oh, Holiday Inn Express. Never mind. Well, then forget I said. I'm going to shut up.
Somebody didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
Apparently not.
But anyways, like, to me, it feels like your brain, like, especially with the whole sloshing around scenario, I can imagine your body having that reaction of like your brain sloshing around, and obviously there's nothing physical going on with you, but your body goes, there's something bad in me. We need to get it out of me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Absolutely. And its first thought is, oversaturate your armpits and everywhere else. I mean, it looks like I ran, I'm sitting in a seat. It looks like my fat ass just ran 5 fucking miles. And I mean ran, not walked, not power jogged. Like, I'm about to die because I fucking ran 5 miles. And so you can see we talked about Oculus before, this virtual reality thing. I did this virtual reality thing with Rylan a few years ago, and it was one that didn't have movement. You were just in this square space defending a mansion against zombies. But a few times, and this was also right at the edge of COVID, so we had to wear a mask on top of it all. But a few times, somewhere in there, the scene wound up jumping, like sensors didn't line up or something, and you were here, and then it went boop, boop, which you see nothing else, right? And I went, oh, and so that happened a few times in the game, like 2 or 3, nothing major to make me pissed off at the game or anything, but when I took all that shit off, I realized my body was I'm handing stuff back to the guy like, I'm sorry, you're gonna need a lot of sanitized wipes for this.
You're gonna
Clorox wipes.
But yeah, so brain starts feeling a certain way, body engages, full on fucking profuse sweating. Right now, Jason, Sheriff, this is the same for you. If I can stop whatever's fucking triggering this and get to a space where I can cool down, and I mean like standing under an air conditioner, getting into a walk-in fucking cooler, something where I can actually cool my core temperature down. I have a 60% chance of not ruining the rest of my day and maybe the next.
Well, you might actually get it worse than I do.
So
I mean, mine will. I'll get the cold sweat.
Yeah.
I'll be sitting there and you kind of you feel a little clammy and that's usually an indicator. I mean, that usually passes. I mean, whether I actually get to the point where I feel nauseous or not, that usually it passes within a little. That's one of the indicators, though. Is you're kind of sitting there and like something, whether it's you feel dizzy or whatever it is. As soon as the cold sweat starts, it's like, oh shit. All right, well,
because right after, in conjunction with, or right after the cold sweat, comes a headache that can't fully be described.
Yeah.
Because yes, it has the pain of a headache, but there's something else in there. I don't know if one feels like you're something squeezing your brain, but it's like, I got a fucking hold, and you're about to be in a world of fucking hurt on top of the regular headache pain.
Yeah, to me, it's usually the cross between a headache and being dizzy.
That's like probably the best way to describe it. Yeah,
like a combination of the two, where it's not enough of a headache to go like, it's to me, it's not enough to need like an Excedrin or something yet, but you feel it coming on, but it's also the dizziness on top of that. And you're kind of like,
the type of headache where you don't know what medication to fucking take for it because you're dizzy.
Yeah, probably.
You're also in pain. So you're like, do I take an ibuprofen? Like, what the fuck do I take for this? They don't make a medication for this type of headache.
Right. So you're dealing with all of that, right? And certainly when I was on the fucking plane, at 18, this is starting, right? And then of course there I'm trapped. I can't. There's no fucking getting away.
There's no turning back now.
You've got turbulence. You've got a descent. So and that's the worst, is a turbulent descent, because then you are guaranteed to fucking get that thing where it feels like the plane is skipping across the air, and 1 minute it's going up, and then it drops fucking 50 feet, and you get that fucking going down the first hill of a roller coaster feeling in your stomach, but your brain is also going, something is smushing me.
Now, see, that's what I mean. Like when we talked about the turbulence thing, like I've never actually felt that during a flight. Now on a descent, oh yeah, you get the one where depending. We were just one of the times we came before we moved back. We came home. I think we were flying into Chicago or something like that, and it was one of those very very turbulent descent. And yeah, I was clammy and was just I was in enough of a being afflicted enough to kind of go like reaching for the bag, like, okay, yeah, this might be happening.
Yeah.
It didn't, but
See, yeah, my descents are completely different. Like you could roller coaster me all fucking day.
no.
As we start descending, like Captain comes on, like blah 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 blah. We're gonna start descending. I'm like, hell yeah, I'm here. Like you could shake me all over, like go up and down.
Oh
I
hell!
don't.
I mean, I mean, I'm the person who just I'm the person who's jealous of people who can just simply read a book in
Yeah.
a car.
I I
Oh,
don't know why.
all the time. Well, used to, obviously.
Yeah,
Driver.
yeah. I can't do any of that. There are times I'm actually just sitting on a plane. I'm actually, because I've got the phone with, like, something you download from Netflix or whatever. I've had multiple times where I'm sitting there just watching something, and it kind of go like, all right, well, pause that because I'm gonna have to sit back for a second just because.
Uh,
I don't know why, but my descents are completely different was funny as hell to me.
well, because they are, because like I'm sure when you guys get ready to descend, like Captain comes on, it's like, all right, we're getting ready to descend. You guys like, all right, shit. All right. Let's see if I can't get best prepared for this. Like, let me put
Oh yeah.
myself in the best
Go to
position
sleep, go to sleep,
possible.
go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep,
Yeah,
go to sleep.
exactly. Whereas I'm
The
like,
la- the bouncing of the landing will wake you up. Just go to sleep.
yeah, like
Oh, I've had it plenty of times. At least on a descent, I'll just sit forward with almost my head in my lap with my eyes closed. Like, all right, this could be fine, but this also could be a disaster.
whereas
Most of the time, it's fine.
I'm just like, hell yeah, we're landing. The flight's over. Let's get the
Yeah.
fuck off this plane.
Oh, mine's more or less, let's get the fuck off this plane so I don't like spew on some back of somebody's head.
That's
Yeah.
common courtesy.
Yeah. Long story short for me on that flight, I busted out the bag. Yeah, and it was like literally right before landing. I busted out the bag, yacked into the bag, and then, back then they sealed up like a coffee bag, right? This
The,
thick bag, and
the two
fold it over
tabs.
to the two tabs, and then I'm like holding on to it, and then just kind of leave it on my seat as I'm exiting the fucking.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
What are you supposed to do with it?
I don't know. I feel
Actually,
fucking bad leaving my fucking vomit, but
at
I
least
mean,
on
that's
mine,
up
I
to the
don't.
flight attendant to come around with the trash bag. Like, I'll drop it in your trash bag.
Well, no, at least on mine, I don't know if it was just because, I mean, this would have been 2008, somewhere around there. I don't know if it was maybe because we were sitting towards the back of the plane, somebody like one of the flight attendants saw it or noticed I was, because like as soon as we landed, I mean, I'm still the guy kind of sitting here like this, like, okay, well, I can't wait to give this to somebody. And one of the women came back with a garbage bag. I don't remember if she was actually doing it for like the normal, get rid of your shit before you land.
excuse me.
But she came back with the big bag. I'm like, thank you.
Well, I mean, she probably came back with the big bag because she saw it and you were
Oh yeah,
you went,
that could have
I
been.
want to
Yeah.
fucking pick that up.
She's-
Let me get back there and go trick or
She's-
treat.
She's on that phone in the front of the plane when they're landing because you can't see them going. 4C just fucking threw up. God damn it.
Somebody get the glad bag.
Whose turn is it?
Somebody
Julie.
get the
Julie, it's your turn. Julie,
all I
no,
remember-
it's your fucking turn. Julie, go get the puke.
all I remember from that was as she was like walking back, all I remember is like looking at the bag and going, that seems big. And I mean, and then all I did was just went and dropped it and went from there. But
Ladies and
that
gentlemen,
point-
this is your captain speaking. We like to thank the passenger in 4C for getting all of his vomit into the bag. That doesn't always happen, so we do want to appreciate you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, and have a nice fucking day.
we appreciate your aim.
I was gonna say, like, at that point, like that just happened. Here's my puke bag. I'll throw it away. How you doing? Keep it moving.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, you go through these fucking stages, and the worst stage sometimes it's not necessarily the longest stage for me, but it's the one that is the most important, is that spot where you are, and I kind of talked about it with the whole Space Mountain thing, but you're already feeling queasy, right? And you go, okay, I know what's going to fucking happen here if whatever conditions are met. So this is the fight it or accept what's about to happen phase. Is what I would call it. And
Okay.
I'm sorry, for me, and I don't know if Jason's the same. It really should just be called the fight it phase, because maybe you should just call it the acceptance should happen phase, because I don't usually win it.
Well, and that's what I was about to say. Is like for me, when I feel shitty, like if I feel like I have to puke, like I remember being like, like 10 years old and be like, oh no, I feel like I have to puke. This is horrible. Now, when I feel like I have to puke, I'm like, oh God, yes, get it out of me because I know I'm going to feel so much better.
I agree with that with drunkenness and hangovers, 100%.
Not even
No.
that, even like bad food, like
Yeah, in those cases, 100%, because it's doing what you were talking about earlier, where your body's, hey, this needs to go. We're getting rid of this. It's not supposed to be here. That does not happen with motion sickness.
so puking
Not
is
so much.
not a relief.
Not all
No,
the time. No.
as in most cases, puking is the indication that your life is going to be a living hell, like I've said, for about 18 hours.
As I say, even with the puke, it usually takes a while to come down because the dizziness doesn't stop, not for a while.
Okay, so not to get too graphic here.
Half of the what the hell are tuned out. Like, God, you're talking about puking and motion sickness.
Oh,
I
yeah.
listen to
I
this
just like,
fucking episode.
But
You're not fucking funny today, guys. What the hell?
like, I'm gonna try and do this as delicately as possible, but this is like a genuine curiosity that I have. So, say like you guys were to get motion sickness and you get the urge to puke. How much would come up? Would it be like a lot? Is it a little?
It's for me, it's no different than,
Do you turn into a fountain?
yeah. I mean, it's gonna keep going, right? I mean, that's
Yeah, mine not all the time. Mine's usually, it's usually stomach contents, but it's never usually, at least as far as like projectile. No, not so much.
Well, I'm
yeah.
not saying projectile, but I'm just saying, is it just kind of like, oh shit, here it comes? Oh, that
I
happened.
mean,
Or
I've
is it
gotten to the
like,
I've gotten to the point where it's hitting me where, by the time, it's still hitting you, you're actually just hunched over a toilet just throwing up stomach bile
Yeah.
because
that's
there's
what I mean?
nothing
Like,
else.
Yeah.
does it hit that point where like you're realize where you are and you're like, I have my face in a toilet and I've been
Oh yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
emptying my stomach for the last 5 minutes.
In
Oh yeah.
What the fuck is my life?
Between stomach bile, between dry heaving, between
Yeah.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
in most cases, you're cleaning out your system. Especially in those cases where something triggered you hard. Roller coasters, amusement parks, something triggered you hard. But in most cases, you're going to clean out your system. It may not be all at once, right? But the initial one is going to be fairly violent, fairly like, okay, all the immediate stuff that's in your stomach is going, right? And then as your intestines continue to deposit stuff, you might have some smaller ones, but
Oh yeah.
eventually to Jason's point, once you're gone, it even takes a little while for the stomach bile to get in there. Then you're dry heaving, which is the worst.
Oh,
Because it
100%.
feels like your fucking lungs are collapsing.
Well, yeah, it feels like your lungs are collapsing, and if you do it enough, then your stomach muscles get all fucking tight.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah. Oh,
sore
yeah.
as hell.
Like you cough or anything, it's like,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's that bad. And then when you get to the point where you've triggered it bad enough to completely empty everything, and then you're trying to recover, you're laying in bed again. For me, it's laying in bed, cold air, trying to cool myself down, whatever. But then if I'm trying to sleep and I roll over too fast when my brain's still affected, then guess what? I'm running to the
round
toilet,
two.
and
Fight.
then here comes the green stomach bile, which by the way tastes amazing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, I've even had it where at least it's like hitting enough. Like I still distinctly remember. I don't remember where we were going. My grandmother was driving us somewhere. I was in her car. I was in the passenger seat. I still remember that. Like I wasn't in the back seat. The windows must have been closed or something like that. She must have had the air conditioning going. I don't know. I don't remember. Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention to like what was going on around me. But I told her something like, that I felt like I had to throw up. So she pulls over, we go to a gas station. I stepped outside and hit the fresh air, and all of a sudden I went, wait, I don't have to
Good.
throw up now.
Some random pollen was in the air and cured it.
I'm assuming that I was young enough that I couldn't maybe necessarily see maybe over the dash or whatever, and maybe I was focusing, on something that wasn't moving or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember that clear. All I remember is like we were in the car. I said I had to throw up. I stepped outside, went into this gas station bathroom, and went, okay, I don't have to throw up.
See, to me, it sounds like you should have been Ace Venturing it the whole time.
And maybe.
Out the window.
Yeah, maybe. Well,
I just cured motion sickness.
Let's move on from the pain and the misery and the vomiting of motion sickness. Again, people, if you got it, welcome to the club. Sorry, but beyond how bad that is, the actual effects, and again, between the crazy headache, the ridiculous sweat, the extreme vomiting, and the fact that it's going to last, like I said, nothing less than 18 hours if you're that bad. But you miss out on so much fucking cool shit.
Oh yeah.
Tends to be the part that bothers me a little more. Like, again, I can do a roller coaster every now and then. I can't spinning, right? So
oh no.
Again, TJ was it was great to, hey, you want to go to fucking Six Flags? Yeah, let's go and get in the pool balls, right? But I can't do. I've got it so bad that being on a merry-go-round with the fucking horses and shit, I can start feeling it. It won't. I don't believe that would cause me to throw up. But because remember the Six Flags in Fiesta, Texas has that huge fucking carousel.
Yeah.
TJ. Kids, little kids always like riding the fucking carousel horses. That I could feel that. I don't think it was to the point that would trigger me, but I could feel it. So anything that spun real hard, there was no way in hell. And there was cool shit that I would have liked to done. I mean, fuck, didn't Cedar Point have that ride where you'd all get in this thing that looks like a can, then it would start spinning and press you up against the wall and the floor would drop out?
Are you talking about?
I think they did it at one point. Might have been a while ago, but yeah.
I think they might have renamed it or something. I don't know.
I don't know what it was called. And I would watch my friends do it because I'm going, there's no fucking way. But part of me goes, that's cool, right? So some basic science that you're spinning enough that the centrifugal force is holding your ass against the wall, and then this floor drops, a foot or two, and you're just pressed against the wall with no fucking safety harness, nothing going. I'm like, that would have been cool.
See, now, I would absolutely because that reminds me of like your state fair,
oh yeah,
traveling carnival ride where you see it's the spinning thing and you just see bars and the people sitting there and they just spin and they're no harness, just hold on to the fucking bars. I would do something like that. Absolutely.
Now here's the funny part.
No, thank you.
Since you brought that up, now I want to see if Jason has anything similar. Since you brought that up, one of the best parts of living in Germany when I was in the Army was they called them a Volksfest. They had a fucking festival, carnival, whatever, all the fucking time. Like every couple of months there was some reason to have a fest, and it was like a little carnival. And there was ones that we would partner with them, and we had one motor pool that had a gate that opened up into the city, so they would empty everything out of this motor pool and bring the Germans on the post because most of the time they couldn't come on, and we'd all be partying together, right? Good fucking times. They had this ride like the one TJ's talking about. It was a giant fucking spinning circle, right? and it was like a big couch all the way around with the bars right here. There were no safety harnesses or nothing, and this thing would go up at this kind of an angle and still be spinning, but then it would start bouncing too.
Oh,
I don't know what. Maybe I wasn't drunk, but I was definitely buzzed. I rode the fuck out of that thing on 2 different fairs and never threw up. And I think part of it was because, you know, you're doing the bouncing, but then halfway through, you're up top, you're letting go and sliding down the bottom of this motherfucker. It was crazy. I don't know what it was. It was the only time I've ridden something that spun like that. Because it wasn't slow, right? Because it was enough that if you held on, you were bouncing. It was going. Your feet were doing this.
I know what it was.
What's that?
It was the alcohol.
That's what I'm thinking.
It broke
Did
your
it-
gate.
sounds about right.
Did it dull?
Your brain wasn't like, I'm bouncing all around. Your brain was like, I'm drunk. I don't care.
Did it
Maybe.
dull the senses enough? Right. That's
might,
the
I mean,
argument.
it might. It
That-
might have.
The 2 different fests, I rode the shit out of that. And yeah, I was, 19 and 20 in Germany, and you can get a liter of fucking German beer for $2.
Sounds about right.
I do that all day.
Oh my God, it was amazing.
That, and I'm
But-
sure you get some damn good sausage over there.
Oh yeah. Bratwurst in Germany? Come on.
Yeah. Like,
Come on. Again, like $1, maybe 2.
exactly.
The gyro wagon too. Oh my God, that's where I got hooked on gyros. Gyros, whatever you want to call them. Like, and those were great, right? Those are great to maintain the buzz, right? So you had enough food in you where you weren't going to get totally shit faced. Like, oh, I just drank 3 beers. I need fucking food. I'm going to go get a fucking bratwurst or a gyro right now, and then we're going to keep going.
There
Like,
you go.
yeah, like if you look at like the German beer culture, like they have such the perfect pairings with
Oh my
their
God.
beers.
That's true. That is
Because-
true.
In
like-
my opinion, the Germans invented craft beer because every town has their own fucking brewery.
Well, but like it's like, all right, here's this specific beer. Drink 2 of them. All right, now here, eat this gyro. This is going to be more fuel, so you can drink more beer.
Yes. Yeah, they have beer
Sounds
breaks
about
at
right.
work, and the drinking age is 16. That tells you
Yeah.
everything you need to know.
Can you
So that
see
was
it?
the only time that I could do something spinny. But you miss out on like the one with the centrifugal force. I would love to do that. I'm not going to put myself through it because I don't want to I don't want to suffer the consequences.
Oh no, there's a bunch of different stuff. I mean, between roller coasters, between even just being on a boat, like just a boat ride. Okay,
Yeah.
so well, here was another one. So this was later on. This wasn't the honeymoon thing, but at one point, we were in Cozumel, and my ex-wife's mother bought her some kind of sunset cruise on a catamaran or some kind of
Oh yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
whatever the fuck it was. So I thought, okay, well, I mean, if I'm on and I can, kind of watch the waves and kind of do whatever, I wanted to do it because, it was something for her birthday, and it took about 15 minutes before I was just laying on the deck, just laying there, just eyes closed, laying head back on the deck, just sitting there going, are we done yet? Are we done yet?
Please
Yeah,
God,
'cause,
let this
we
be
keep
over
like hitting
soon.
the waves or keep hitting the waves or whatever, and then like, is the fucking sun down yet?
Please, dear God, let this be over soon.
But again,
I
it was
don't
one of
wanna
those
be
things,
that
like,
guy.
I would love to do stuff like that. I love roller coasters. I just can't ride them.
Yeah.
Or not for very long. Like all that kind of stuff. Well, hell, even if you want to go, so apparently I just must be a glutton for punishment, because at one point, even as far back, my ex wanted to get into scuba diving. So we were doing scuba diving.
Yeah.
And of course, as you're going through the training for scuba diving, they're talking about that, obviously if you've got the regulator in your mouth and you feel sick, it's not like if you're underwater, you can go bleh, and then put it back in.
That's how
You
you
have to
throw up in
throw-
the regulator.
You have to throw up in your regulator and then shoot it out the sides. So let's just say I was very popular with the fish.
which is also counterintuitive because you've got to keep your mouth relatively closed and lips wrapped around
Oh yeah.
the regular. I'm certified in diving too. I haven't done it in years, and I can't do them on cruises because that means I got to leave Steph, and that's not happening. But yeah, so you're sitting there, with the thing, and it's like trying to hold that and not spew the regular out of your mouth, and then immediately fucking drown.
But oh yeah. So I mean, between all of the, I mean, again, I enjoyed scuba diving, but like we were having this one because I would occasionally have trouble equalizing. So you hold your nose and kind of blow, so your ears would pop a little bit, so you could go,
Yep.
you could descend a little bit more. I was having trouble on this one in Cozumel. Well, it was also a current dive, so you're going along however the ocean's carrying,
You're just riding along. You're
whatever
not even
direction
kicking.
you're going.
Yeah.
Well, I'm above everybody because I'm having trouble doing this, and everybody's below me. So the current's stronger where I'm at. So I'm a good maybe 50 feet in front of everybody. And the dive master's like tapping his tank because, once you tap the tank, it's one of those weird things where you can hear the sound like all around you.
Yeah, the way sound waves carry you.
Yeah, there's no direction to it.
Yep.
He taps it and you kind of go, you have to look around like, okay, where's he at? And they're below me, I'm up, they're down here, I'm up here, and he's doing one of those like, oh, no, come on back. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what you want me to fucking do here. I can't descend because my ears won't pop. And if I turn around to kick towards you, so if I turned around to kick, I'd be standing still because I'm kicking against the current.
That's
so as I'm kicking against the current, I do it for about a couple minutes and then go, nope, I'm turning around. And he'd tap his tank again, and I'd go, what do you want me to do? Obviously, I can't tell him that. But in my mind, I'm going, what do you want me to do here?
You're going, fuck you, I'm up.
Yeah. I'm going to keep going. You guys catch up. I'll be fine.
Don't worry about me.
But anyway. Yeah, it's one of those, again, that like the kind of things that you would potentially enjoy doing that at least for a certain amount of time you can't. Like, so I can get on a boat, I can ride on a boat, but as soon as you stop it, and if it's doing a lot of that.
So TJ being the only normal person on the show today.
Oh, whoa. You do not curse me with that tag.
Air quotes.
Not put that juju on me.
Yeah, the non-motion sickness afflicted person. I'm just curious because clearly I've only kind of experienced it once, but again, alcohol was involved. So when you get on like the pool ball ride, what does that actually fucking feel like to you?
Fun.
Because I'm telling you now, it feels like absolute torture for me.
It's fun. It's just fun.
So like,
I love spinning. Like, here's the thing, right? Is because Sean knows this. He saw it firsthand. I'm not a big fan of roller coasters, mostly because it's not the motion, it's the loss of control and the heights. Like, I always feel like I'm going to die. Sean literally watched somebody offer me $50 to get on this big ass, like, I think it was a Superman ride at Six Flags.
It was the Superman ride, yeah.
That's the one that does.
Yeah.
No, this is a Superman coaster. It's floorless, so your feet are hanging. Right.
Okay.
And yeah, it's got a pretty good hill, and then which goes into a giant fucking loop, and then Superman standing on top of the loop. Anyway.
But yeah, like I turned that down, like flat out turned it down, just because like that's my thing. That's my thing against roller coasters. Like, it's the loss of control, and I'm not a huge fan of heights. Like, I don't have a problem with flying. Like, I can look out a fucking 33-story window, but it's like the threat of falling out, and it's like
there's a difference.
I don't know what this fucking coaster's gonna do. Like,
but no, that makes sense. There's a difference because you're out in the wide open on a coaster.
Exactly.
You're only held down by a bracket. It just comes down here.
I think I don't even know the name of it. It was at Cedar Point. The first coaster I ever rode wasn't the corkscrew. I'm gonna say Blue Streak. I mean, it was a shitty
Magnum.
Oh yeah,
old coaster. No, it was before the Magnum was around. But I'm almost positive that I almost died because I remember the guy that I was riding with his name was Jim Caruso. And he was twice to 3 times bigger than me. I was a scrawny little fucking kid, right? And I swear, like, both of my legs put together didn't equal Jim Caruso's, but it had and the reason I say I almost died is it had the one size lap bar. So if you got big guy, little guy, I'm pretty sure my knees were up against that motherfucker, like barely bent, like, yeah, I was about to fly out. And it was the first fucking coaster I was ever on.
Sounds about right.
And then at that point, I always go, I'm not going on any roller coaster that doesn't have the fucking over the shoulder harness.
Yeah, I don't blame him for
For
that
the
one.
longest fucking time.
Nah.
Anyway, going back, and I think that makes sense, right, TJ? Because for me, the scariest part and the most fun part is that first fucking hill. Where they're clacking you up that hill slow on purpose, right? And like when Magnum was the tallest, right? Like, oh look, here's the corkscrew, and then you go, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember getting on the Magnum, and that motherfucker is a super gradual incline, like that, going up that motherfucker back then, because I know there's worse now, took forever. And by the top of that was fucking with my head. Like, I'm really not sure I want to do this now because holy shit, this is fucking high. And are we ever gonna fucking get there? And
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
which is again, it's the torture, and it's the it's the best part, because it's where you get more stomach knots than anything else, right?
It's not the best part for me because
The best part for you is getting off.
exactly, because like every roller coaster I've ever been on, the only thing that's going through my head the whole time while I'm riding that roller coaster is, why am I here? 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 What the fuck am I doing?
Did you rode the Roadrunner, didn't you? In Fiesta, Texas?
Discuss.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okay.
I think that was the one I rode.
Yeah. That was like it was all my kids' first fucking coaster, right? Because that one doesn't do upside down, and it's not too super crazy.
Yeah, and you fucking talked me into fucking getting on it.
Yeah. That one was not too bad. I could ride the shit out of that one. So, but like when going back to the original question again, because you're the only one that isn't afflicted with this. You heard how my brain fucking feels, and again, it may not be as move aroundy in a spinny situation, right? But the equilibrium and dizziness thing really can make it just as bad. So, what do you feel any of that when you're fucking spinning in one of these rides, or what's like dizzy? I get, everyone gets dizzy.
Yeah. So I get dizzy. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But 10, 15 seconds after, it's gone. And then it's just business as usual.
Yeah, see.
So and that's why I love the pool balls, because your kids were the same way. They could spin like fuck.
Yeah. They don't have it. They don't have the motion sickness thing at all.
So I would go in there and there'd be this like almost like a steering wheel where you control it. So I would just be in there just cranking it. We'd just be flying. Everybody be laughing, have a good time. Like those are some of the best memories I have of Six Flags.
Oh yeah. They loved it. I can't fathom what someone that isn't afflicted with motion sickness would feel like in that scenario, because just not even cranking it the way you cranked it with the kids, like just doing just doing this like merry-go-round speed, I would probably start throwing up before the actual major ride actually kicked in, and had the the whole big circle goes around, then there's the semicircles or the whole circles inside that spin all that.
No.
So you're spinning on you're spinning on 3 different axes in that thing.
No.
And I just not literally like the gyroscope guy thing.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started on that fucking shit. No way in hell. You ever see that in a bar? They got
Oh,
the
I would
gyroscope,
100%
the
do that.
gyroscope thing where they fucking
Oh
strap
yeah,
you in, and then
put me up there and just fucking.
and then just one or two guys just start spinning this thing, and it's on all fucking 4-axis.
No.
You never get me on
Someone
that shit.
strap me in and call heads or tails.
The answer is no.
No.
Actually, let me reiterate. The answer is fuck no.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Actually, let me reiterate. The answer is fuck you, fuck no.
Yeah. Hell, fuck no, and get away from me for even fucking proposing it.
You ever come near me again, I will be very cross and yell at you.
I will do everything I can if you force me to get on this to throw up in your face when I get off.
Yeah. You put me on this thing, I will definitely aim.
No, you're not gonna aim. Like that's coming when you're on that thing. That's just gonna be projectiles just all over the place.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, I don't know. There's
got to be a fucking
after.
YouTube video
I
of this
strap
shit
you in,
somewhere.
I fucking twirl you. You're.
You never know. For his
looks like
knowledge,
looks like a Hadoken stream from fucking Street Fighter. Just fucking
like a champagne bomb.
Oh, no, that's what I mean. For his knowledge to Sean and I are sorry, in throwing up. I mean, I don't know. There's still a certain amount of control that we have to go like, oh no, you're gonna get it. No, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. I don't care what direction I'm going, you're getting it.
Okay, let's test this theory. We're gonna get a gyroscope. We're gonna strap you in.
No.
There's
No,
my
I was
response
talking
to that
Jason.
right there.
He's the one talking the big game.
Okay, yeah.
I think I covered this.
I can control it.
Oh no, I didn't say I could control it. I've just got enough experience to possibly aim it.
You get to aim when you're fucking spinning all over the goddamn place.
I mean, if I keep my eyes open, I don't know.
I feel like
really
there's
don't
gotta
wanna
be
test it,
YouTube
though.
videos of this shit.
If you keep your eyes open, the only thing that's coming is not aim, it's stomach bile. In every which direction.
That's probably also true.
Yeah. I don't even think keeping my eyes closed would save me on that one. You could just feel it.
Oh no, you'd both be done.
Yeah, completely.
I'd be in there like
if anything, we'd have bets on how fucking long it takes. Like who can hold out the longest
Maybe.
before making the announcement, I'm done, stop this fucking thing, or suffer the consequences.
like if we could get one that would obviously the gyroscope, like I'm moving all around, right? If we could get one that would like go around in like a circle at the same time,
oh god,
I would love to do that and just be like, all right, guys, first one to hit me with a water balloon gets $50. You have 30 seconds. Go.
All right.
Remember, and I know Jason seems. Remember that fucking ride? Everywhere has. You can find them at fairs and you can find them at Six Flags, but it's the ride with like 3 rows of stadium seats, and then the whole thing comes up, and then on the inside it fucking spins around.
Oh god.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
I
remember. I never got on it, but I remember seeing those.
Yeah, well, the kids loved it, right? And at some point they would get to the top, and then they would invert the seat so that you're coming down face first, and then let it go so you'd fucking swing, right? I've seen a video ages ago. I'm sure it's out there on YouTube, where in Japan they took that concept and made a gyroscope out of the fucking thing.
Oh.
Look at TJ's face.
Oh,
like it was that big, and it was huge, and this giant fucking motorized gyroscope.
Fuck you. No.
I mean, I could never do it. And just the fucking ingenuity to make that damn thing, I'm going, who rides it? TJ's going, I do it.
Sign me up.
I mean, even that, I'm sitting there going, you were too busy thinking about whether or not you could. You never thought about whether
you
or
should.
not you should.
I'm going to run a quick search and see. I doubt I'll find it. But let's just see. Giant. I'm gonna call it giant gyroscope ride. Let's see if it's out there.
We really need like Jeopardy music when you do that. See? Nothing.
No, I see the one that we've talked about that are manual. Oh, there's a YouTube is listening. Here's a ride. 2022 Magnum XL 200 roller coaster ride. Front view.
The Magnum XL is just a regular coaster, though.
Yeah, I don't
I
know
thought
why. It's just
Magnum
it's
XL
listening.
were condoms.
That too.
Anyway,
Well, that's going to be a really weird YouTube video then.
I'm not. I close it out. I'll find it because I remember seeing it. It's
I
fucking
closed that out. I realized that was on Pornhub.
Nope.
the Sheldon search. How to what was it? How to please little girls or something? I don't know.
Oh no.
Leonard
Oh.
was like, "Don't do that."
That was not the subject this week.
I thought we were
Anyway.
talking about motion sickness.
I thought we were talking about other reasons I would throw up besides what you just said.
Hey, I'm talking about an episode of The Big Bang Theory. Not literal. Don't go literal,
Well,
people.
then that's weird.
Anyway, so TJ was saying while you were gone, and this makes no fucking sense to me. Like, you know, he has fun in the spinny pool ball ride, and you know, obviously everybody gets dizzy, right? Even people aren't affected by motion sickness get dizzy. But the part that blows my mind is like, 30 seconds later, I'm good.
Yeah, 15, 30 seconds
Oh.
later, it's just done.
No.
Go.
How?
No.
I don't.
Let's go.
That makes. I cannot fucking fathom that at all.
I told you the story about the one at Disney that went backwards.
Yeah.
Soon as it clicked and we went backwards, we stopped and I went back to the hotel. I was done.
The only time I can say I've ever been like too dizzy as far as like spinning goes was one time in the pool balls. I was cranking the wheel so hard that I was like, oh shit, I need to stop. And I sat back for like 5 seconds and then I went, oh no, I'm good. And then I just started cranking again.
Oh no. That does not happen.
No.
Yeah, like for people that don't have motion sickness, like spinning is just like, wee, oh, I'm a little dizzy. Oh, yeah, all right.
It's for us. It lingers.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like the. I don't know. I wouldn't call it the full effect, right? Like the full effect of being dizzy, where everyone's just all discombobulated, but that maybe for you that last 10 seconds where your brain feels a certain way but you're okay, that stays to me for probably hours.
See, and that's the difference, right? Because there's two different dizzies to me. Because there's like spinning dizzy, but then there's like sick dizzy where like your fucking legs get weak and like your whole body gets weak. Like to me, that's what I associate with dizzy. Like
so that's perfect. It's genius, because the other thing that has happened to me, and I don't know if this has happened to you, Jason, to make shit even worse, right? Being as strongly afflicted with motion sickness as I am, I've also, on more than one occasion, wound up with vertigo. So
I don't
want to talk about a constant state. So think about this. Spinning makes you dizzy. Spinning makes me dizzy enough to fucking throw up.
I thought you bought the rights to a U2 song.
Vertigo, you're in a constant state of fucking dizziness. Just because the little fucking calcium balls in your ear are in the wrong fucking spot. And the only thing that gives you relief is finding a certain spot and not fucking moving from there until those balls get back in the right spot in your ear.
I am not sure that I've had that happen.
Oh my fucking God. Like, the first time I had it, I don't remember if you were here or not, TJ. I had the kids. We were driving something for one of their events, right? And I'm driving down the road, straight line, and all of a sudden the world starts fucking spinning. Like I'm like, oh my god, what the like? No fucking reason. Like, matter of fact, I think we had just gotten Sonic to eat, and I'm like, and so I'm trying to hold it together to not wreck my wonderful PT Cruiser. Oh my god, that car was a piece of fucking shit. Anyway,
PT loser.
oh, people don't ever buy one of these. Anyway, fortunately, it wasn't too far from the house, right? And like, I'm again for no reason, I hadn't spun around or anything like that. Getting out of the car, you would have thought I just entered myself in the Dizzy Bat Race. You know, put your head down, spin around 18,000 fucking times, and then run across. Because I couldn't do the fucking straight line to get into the fucking house.
What's even worse, there's a drinking game where you chug a beer before you spin around.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, hey, I thought of a new drinking game I want to tell you about later. So Vertigo again, you know, the mechanics are something about these calcium balls that run across these hairs in your eardrum or whatever, which send the signals to your brain, and they're in there doing this where they're not supposed to be, which immediately says to one ear, you're going this way, to the other ear, you're going the other way, and you're dizzy. So here I am with a bad case of vertigo, and I get motion sick on top of it. Right? And so at that point, I'm like stumbling into my room. The kids are looking at me like I'm about to die. And the funny part was at that time I had a bed from IKEA, which was, I don't know, 8 inches off the floor. It might as well have been Japanese. Right? But I collapse onto this bed, and I find that if I lay on my left side just like this.
What house was this at?
Wayne.
Then of course I was there.
And I think you had gotten an apartment at that point.
Or no, I moved back.
Yeah. I don't remember what year it was. Anyway, so I'm laying on my side, like it's the only time I feel normal. So I'm laying on my side, my head in a certain spot, and I'm just like, okay, and I'm just telling the kids, okay, you do take a shower, da 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 da. Dad doesn't feel good, you know, and it was all fine. However, the shit does not correct itself right away. I had to get up the next morning and take the kids to school 14 miles away.
Ooh.
Right? So what am I doing? I'm almost Ace Venturing. I'm driving the kids to school like this.
See,
and after that, I was supposed to drive to San Antonio for a staff meeting. I got the kids to school, and I called my boss, and I'm like, I got extreme vertigo. I just took my life in my hands taking my kids to school. I'm not driving to San Antonio. And she was like, no, you go home right now. go home. It's like, thank God.
At that point, you should have called Tracy and been like, if you want these kids to go to school, you can come get them. Otherwise, they ain't fucking going.
Yeah. Anyway. So you got someone that's afflicted with pretty good case of motion sickness. I think I got it pretty bad. And then you got this fucking random thing, and again, it's happened to me more than once, where you just get fucking dizzy.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, no, I have not had that happen.
I hope you don't.
That's why I think you actually have the motion sickness worse than I do.
I fucking hope you don't. Because and then, matter of fact, I think I went to the fucking hospital that day because I didn't know what the fuck it was. No,
That's
I know
probably how you learned about the calcium balls.
Yeah, that matter of fact, I know I went to the hospital, and yeah, that's what the doctor said why it was happening, and there's these someone figured this out where there's these movements that they can do to your head, and based on which way they turn your head, they watch your eyes, and then your eyes will literally do this.
Yeah.
In a certain direction, and they know which ear is out of line, and then they can move your head a certain way to supposedly, because it's basically a circle, roll these calcium balls back into the right spot.
Wow.
So I'm in the ER, and and doc's like, yeah, you got this, and here's the deal, because they have this. We don't really do that. We're gonna get you some pills to help with the nausea and da da da. I'm like, okay, cool. So the next time I wind up with it, my dumbass, what do? I hit the internet. This is here. I hit the internet to try and figure out, what's going on.
No.
And I figure, oh, hey, I could do these movements myself, which is great if you know which direction to go. If you go in the wrong direction, you make it a million times fucking worse.
And guess what you did?
Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
about right.
Because
Like,
it's da da da, and then lay, and then do your head this way, and then turn your whole body this way, and then move your head, and then sit up, and also this shit. Did it the wrong way, and you might as well put me on a gyroscope.
Like, all right. So here's my deal about this. You got a sprained finger. You don't want to go to the hospital. I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Tape it to the next one. How you doing? Keep it moving. In that situation, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
True story.
Don't do that. Please
No.
don't.
No,
Anybody
don't do,
out there listening to this,
don't do that.
if you're in a situation like that where you're like, I'm fucked up and I think I could fix it, but I'm not real sure. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, learn from Sean's mistake.
Don't be like me.
Yeah.
Please don't. It's not a good idea for the
Don't
record.
be like Sean.
Oh, motion sickness fucking sucks, man.
Because we've all done that. Like, I've done that. I'm sure Jason at some point in his life has done that. He's old as fuck, so there's no chance that he hasn't.
That's a good point. Very good
fucking, don't try and self-diagnose using fucking WebMD, people.
Yeah, because
You're always going to wind up with cancer if you do that.
well, yeah, exactly. You're gonna end up fucking crying at 2 a.m. because you think you have cancer because you got a cut on your finger.
It's always the worst case scenario. But yeah, I no, don't do that. It's bad.
No. Don't do that.
You got vertigo. Let doctors treat you. Don't try and do the shit yourself. It's
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it.
No, do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do
Jason,
it.
you need to put that on your watch list.
I will. I said I'm almost positive I've seen pieces, but yeah, not the whole thing. But
It's got
you-
Snoop Dogg. It's got
right.
Snoop
You
Dogg
just
as
gotta
Huggy
watch
Bear.
through. It's fucking hilarious. I think it'll still hold up. Granted, I haven't seen it in years, but
I think
I
it
put it
holds
on the
up.
list.
It's got Snoop Dogg as Huggy Bear. Can't go wrong.
Hey, there you go.
So, anyway, let's wrap this bad boy up. So if you number one, what the hellions, if you are not afflicted with motion sickness,
Fuck you.
part of
you
me
see,
wants
bitch.
part of me wants to echo Jason's sentiment, but I would say count yourself fucking lucky.
If you
Like,
don't suffer of it, can I borrow your head?
Or at least
That's
that part
fine
of your
because then
brain.
you wouldn't want to go on roller coasters. So if you don't suffer from motion
Oh, all
sickness,
right.
also don't have
Alright.
a dumb brain that fucking hates being out of control, go on all the roller coasters
Alright.
you can. Like, I understand theme parks and the whole thing behind it. I wish I could fucking just get past that.
Hey, it makes sense.
Some of it's great, water slides and some of that shit, and like the log rides that aren't too crazy. That's fucking great. But yeah, there's, depending on who you are with whatever you're thinking, like motion sickness, you're so many things you can't do in a theme park. And stuff that isn't even as extreme as a roller coaster, like the giant metal swings.
Oh yeah, no.
Right? The 50 people on the swings, it lifts up and just spins you the fuck around at 20 miles an hour.
No.
Not even that extreme. Can't do it.
No.
Yeah, but you know what you do when everybody else is doing that? You go get yourself a $9 churro.
That's right. Or
I do support that.
don't even get me started on the you see them more at county fairs or whatever than you do at fucking amusement parks, but like the the super duper tall fan thing with like a pod on either end that just goes.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's ridiculously tall. It's probably 5 stories tall.
Jason, think of like the dipping bird, right? Except it just goes all the way around.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about it.
Well,
Can't
don't
do
think
that
about
one.
being in it, but I'm just trying to tell you that's
okay.
what it is.
Oh, okay. That's fine then.
Now, is yours? We're getting off again, but is yours bad enough? Can you do that like the swinging pirate ship thing? Can you do that one?
Mine's
Yeah,
bad enough. Mine's bad enough that I choose not to.
Ah, I
Yeah,
could
I
do
probably
that
could
one.
do that. I probably could do the pirate ship.
Well, there probably are things that I probably could do that I just like I kind of like look at them and go, yeah, you know what, I'd rather not risk it.
Yeah, exactly. I
not
don't blame
chancing
you
it.
for that. I'd be in that same boat. I'd just be like, don't like and that's the boat I'm in now. Like, don't invite me to a theme park because I'm not any fun.
Well, it's exactly like I've said between like going to like Cedar Point, like the Millennium Force. I will ride all day long because there's no real loops. There's no,
Shut that
but
down.
it's a smooth ride, smooth coaster. I mean, those, oh yeah, those all day long. Wooden coasters, no, because they beat the shit out of you as you're like bouncing back and forth on
Yeah,
in the little thing. But like stuff like the Raptor that like, does a lot of that. Mm-mm. Actually, most of the time I'll do those first just so I can kind of like do that. And then as we're walking around, depending on what line you're waiting in,
let it come
do
down
that
like we
first, let
talked
it
about before.
pass,
Yeah,
do something else.
yeah.
But yeah, like a regular coaster, regular coasters I'll do, as long as it's not jostling you around or turning you upside down, I'm fine.
Yeah. So yes, if you're not afflicted with this, both fuck you and be glad at the same time.
Well, it's kind of one of those like screw you, but I'm also envious.
Completely. 100%.
Oh, like if I could give this to both of you, I would. Like, because you both love roller coasters. I hate roller coasters. So, like, here, you can have this trait. Have at it. Have fun.
Let's swap them out, little pieces. Like you take
Right,
this
yeah.
one, you take this one, you take this one.
That's like 30 years from now, brain surgery.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Happening at every 7-Eleven.
No, I hope not.
Oh God. Anyway, so yeah, that's our whines, bitches, gripes, complaints about having motion sickness. It's fucking terrible.
It's dumb.
It's dumb. Be glad if you don't have it. Appreciate you guys tuning in, listening, downloading. Please continue to do so. TJ and I talked a little bit earlier today. I understand this one probably wasn't super funny, but I think we've got some funny in the chamber coming shortly.
Yeah.
So, and we're not going to tell Jason what it is because I think that's going to help provide even more funny.
All right. I support that.
So, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for bearing with us. Appreciate it. Please like, rate, subscribe.
Don't be lazy twats.
Don't be lazy twats. Let's wrap this bad boy up because TJ's got to go night night.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. I certainly appreciate that.
Jason, give us your closing statement.
As per usual, stay classy, insert your hometown here.
DJ?
Parentheses, insert your hometown here, or whatever it is. Whatever it is. I don't know. Hyphens or
it's parentheses.
Brackets
parentheses
or
qualify.
parentheses. I don't know. Whatever it is.
Did you just botch your own closing line?
Close. It was close.
No, there was no. You botched it.
Oh, it was close. It was close. I got through it, but then I wanted to like edit. So
no. If you had, if you got
after
through it,
botch.
you would have had to give an explanation.
That's what I mean. It was an after botch.
No.
Post line botching.
That's a botch.
And then
botch.
no.
Botch.
No.
Botch.
I don't consider no.
It's a botch.
No.
Get to bed.
No. Time for me to go to bed.
Anyways, as Sean tossed to me, and that's what I did with it, you know I'm going to say to you, be good to each other, people.
You heard them. You heard both of them. Do it. Don't be lazy twats.
Don't
Do it.
watch.
Do
All
it.
that stuff. And appreciate you tuning in. We will catch you on the flip side.